Critical condition at UMC right now after a confrontation with a Metro police officer gets him shot. The jar was found by a teenager, Michael Coleman, 17 years old, who didn't know what it was but kept it in his room anyway. Well, on Saturday, Michael Coleman was admitted to Sunrise Hospital, and Clark County health officials are now looking for 12 other people that they believe may have inhaled high levels of toxic mercury vapors. I spoke with the engineer of the train that hit this car, and he said that he was able to see her headlights from a distance of about a half mile. John, there was another residential concern with this fire right over here. Right across the street is the covered wagon RV park. Garrett's going to turn around and show you that real quick. He knows he had a responsibility to not show Vegas in an unsavory light. And he said to that end, these new spots might even be a little less edgy. So we took them down to the Strip to show the target audience and see what they thought. But investigators do know that the accident started right here. But what they're not sure about is whether the victims were standing right here in the street or up here on the sidewalk. According to fire officials, they're saying that there is a truck that's going to babysit the smoldering embers through the night just in case it gets ornery and decides to reignite. I'm Rawley Valverde reporting live from East Vegas, Fox 5 News.
Let's get straight to our top story this morning. A streak of vending machine robberies could be coming to an end. Police making an early morning arrest this morning, and Fox 5's Rawley Valverde is live on the scene with the full details of what happened overnight. Good morning to you, Rawley.
Good morning, Cher. 2 men are in custody, and a third is still at large after leading cops on a police chase that ended here at this Budget Suites parking lot right behind me. This is the corner of Nellis and Flamingo. Now, here's what we know so far. Over the last couple of months, a number of vending machines have been burglarized in the Las Vegas area, and cops think they may have caught 2 of the guys responsible this morning. They told me the truck they jumped out of certainly had the tools of the trade: blowtorches, pry bars, and bolt cutters. Here's how the 2 men were caught. Around 3:45, a Clark County school cop was making his rounds nearby when he noticed something suspicious going on in front of a Rite Aid drugstore. A small group of guys and sparks coming from a vending machine. He went over to check it out.
As he approached, one of the individuals raised a handgun and fired one shot at him. At that time, the individual got in a vehicle. Our officer got in his vehicle, and about an 8-minute pursuit was initiated, which ended up here.
Now, the 2 men that are in custody have been taken to Clark County Detention Center. They're going to be charged with burglary and felony evasion. Now, at first, it was only thought that 2 men were involved. But then again, the breaking news is that a third man was involved and is still at large. Now, the gun has not been recovered, so cops say there is a chance that this third suspect does have the gun. And we have a description on him. I'm going to give it to you right now. He's described as a white male adult, about 5'9", about 200 plus pounds, gray spiked hair, mid to late 30s, answers to the name Jim or James. Now, there's a Clark County School Police tip line you can call if you have any information on this person, 799-0228. Reporting live from Nellis and Flamingo, I'm Rawley Valverde, Fox 5 News.
This is our top story this morning. A bar fight breaks out across the street from UNLV.
It all happened at Moose's Beach House on Maryland Parkway, and that's where we find Fox 5's Rawley Valverde. The scene cleared for now, but a little bit earlier, a different story out there, Rawley.
Yes, sirree, Josh. It's all started when 2 young ladies that had a little too much to drink decided to have a go at it. And they started a bar fight that turned into a mini riot, and Metro Police showed up in force to put it down.
Your actions are the ones that dictated why we were here tonight. You heard the story about how you were flirting with the other
Cops scolding that young lady there, saying she's responsible for this. Maryland Parkway across from UNLV is no stranger to violence. There have been a number of bar-related shootings and stabbings there the past couple of months. And what happened here tonight could have gotten ugly, but luckily, Metro squashed it before it did. Cops told me around 1:30 this morning, 2 women started going at it inside Moose's Beach House. The fighting spread quickly through the packed bar, so quickly the bouncers and club security couldn't handle it, so they called the cops for help. The first cop on the scene tried to stop it, but when dispatch couldn't reach him to see how he was doing, they sent plenty of backup.
They couldn't get him back on the radio, so not knowing what the fight was and how many people were involved, everybody started showing up.
And he's not kidding either. When Fox 5 News showed up, we counted about 16 squad cars here. It took them about 15 minutes to put down the disturbance. 1 man was arrested. He'll be charged for battery. And the only injury of any significance to report was a bloody nose. Reporting live from Moose's Beach House on Maryland Parkway, I'm Rawley Valverde, Fox 5 News.
Let's get straight to our top story this morning. A suspect on the run throws something out of his window that has cops calling the bomb squad. Rawley Valverde is live on the scene with more on this. Good morning to you, Rawley.
Good morning, Cher. You know, if you were in this Northeast Vegas bar a couple of hours ago, it didn't seem like a very nice place to be. That's because it was evacuated due to a bomb scare. Now, a guy the cops were chasing down this street here started chucking things out the window. One of the things he tossed out the window was a package. When cops showed up on the scene, they took one look at the package and said, you know what? We better call the bomb squad. Now, that video that you're looking at is doctored up because the fire department didn't want us to show you the device they used to blow up the package. Now, this is the guy that threw the package out the window. He's got a lot of explaining to do. Cops told me around 1:15 this morning they tried to pull him over for expired tags. Instead of stopping, though, he took off and led them on a chase down Charleston while throwing stuff out the window. He crashed the car into a pole at the corner of Eastern and Charleston, started to run, but decided to hit the ground when he saw he was surrounded by cops. When cops backtracked, they found a gun. They say he tossed out the window and the suspicious package outside a bar. The bar was evacuated and the bomb squad was called in.
The vehicle appears to be stolen. The ignition is punched out. Wires are hanging out. This is indicative of the stolen vehicle.
And Fox 5 News just learned that the passenger in that car was cooperative, but he copped to owning that suspicious package. The fire department is saying it was not an explosive device. However, that passenger is going to be charged with possessing an incendiary device. Now, there was also another passenger in the car, a woman. She had a warrant out for her arrest. She's also in custody. As for the driver, he's going to be charged with a number of things: felony evading, possession of a stolen vehicle, as well as possession of an unregistered handgun. Again, no one was injured in this incident. Reporting live from Northeast Vegas, I'm Rawley Valverde, Fox 5 News. Shelley, convicted killer Pascual Lozano, breathing a little bit easier tonight after learning that he's going to get another chance to convince a jury that he wasn't the shooter of a 9-year-old girl.
Triste.
Sad.
Triste.
Sad.
Y con mucho coraje.
And with anger.
A mother's stunned reaction to news the convicted murderer of her daughter is getting a chance to get off death row.
Y lo que quiero es que se haga justicia.
And the only thing she wants is justice, and she wants him to pay for what he did, even though she knows that's not going to bring my sister back.
On November 3rd of last year, Pascual Lozano was sentenced to death for shooting 9-year-old Genesis Gonzalez. His lawyers always believed the wrong man was behind bars.
3 independent witnesses at the crime scene themselves who saw the shooting said the shooter was black, African American. My client is Hispanic.
And Brett Whipple is thrilled the district court agreed some of the prosecution's witnesses weren't on the up and up.
They had a jailhouse informant, a criminal, come in and testify against my client.
The district court's ruling today also found reason to doubt the testimony of the victim's sister, Tanya, stating that after the trial, she said she never told anyone that the shooter was Latino or Hispanic, and that she said that the shooter was right-handed. Lozano is left-handed. The report concludes by stating the newly discovered evidence or the juror misconduct could have affected the average juror in this case.
We're very disappointed with the court's ruling, and we are working on our appeal right now.
And a family just wants to put this nightmare behind them.
We're not over it yet. We just want to get it over, and every time we go to court, we just remember stuff that we just don't want to remember.
Lozano was given the news today by the public defender's office, and they told me that his reaction, obviously, he was overjoyed. Now, as for the new trial, the public defender's office told me that the way the appeals process works, at the earliest, it would begin in about 6 months. More than likely, they won't be back in the courtroom for about a year. Reporting live from the Clark County Detention Center, I'm Rawley Valverde, Fox 5 News. Our story starts around 2 this morning at a Rite Aid drugstore nearby. Metro cops are saying that a woman had just done some shoplifting at the drugstore. She ran out to her getaway car. The driver of that car almost mowed down a cop as they made their getaway. A chase ensued. That chase ended right here at Karen Court when the driver tried to make a right, but instead they lost control of the car, slammed through a brick wall here at this apartment complex, and blasted into this apartment just a few feet away from where an elderly woman who lives all alone was sleeping.
I was asleep when a loud bang woke me up, and I got up and saw my dresser drawers were open, and I looked out the window, and police were all over the place, and they were hollering at some guy to get down.
Shelby